Hey everyone, welcome to another Collateral Nation. Walking is the best medicine for improving your circulation in your legs. Typically, we have our really good friend Kevin Thomas Morgan on here. He is still recovering from open heart surgery. It was successful, but of course, it's always a roller coaster, and he wanted to be here. And his partner Sue is with him and says that pretty soon he'll be right back with us and helping to inspire you to not only get those legs moving, but also get that heart pumping. He is so eager to get back and training for his half Ironman event in May. So, we're definitely going to support him every step, but make sure you take an extra step for him. And if you want, you can send those steps that you take for Kevin to give him a little love to info at PAD help.org, or stick them in comments and our producer Josh will grab them. Just how many steps did you take today or yesterday? Just stick them in comments and we will gather them up and give steps for Kevin. But we have our friend Douglas here. Very excited. Our PAD Warrior Chief is here with us. And we have a great live studio audience with us as well, don't we, Douglas?
Yes, ma'am. Well, another beautiful Wednesday morning, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Kevin. He's been such a big inspiration for all of
I
us,
think he'll
and
take your thoughts. He won't take your prayers, though.
well, that's okay. But he's been a great inspiration in learning and the yoga toes, and I would have never thought
Yeah.
about picking up towels or doing all the stuff that he's taught us. So he has really taught us a lot and being a
Yeah.
part of that and thinking about what he teaches us, Kim. And we've heard some stories this morning about walking and how big a variance we each have in our journey, the ups and downs that we go through with our walking experiences. In it?
Yep. It's so crazy. I mean, I'd love to hear from anyone out there. Just it's almost frustrating, right? When you hear one person is, climbing mountains and then you're barely making it, to the mailbox. What is that like for all of you out there? I know Adrian and I and Kimberly and I were talking, before we started here. If you guys want to just share what, because I don't think doctors sometimes understand what it's like to live with PAD and to deal with this pain.
For me,
I,
we went to Gatlinburg and we parked in a parking garage. We didn't even walk a block. And I said, we got to go back. I can't do it.
What does that
That's why
cramp feel like? Can you describe what it feels like?
it's like a heaviness in my leg and hips. And it's like, stop right now. And then you feel it in your chest too. I do. That's why I want them to check my heart.
and how does that affect us mentally and emotionally and spiritually and all the stuff that we go through besides the physical condition?
You feel like you can't do nothing.
It's very
Yeah, because
disheartening.
everyone, who was that?
This is
Oh, that was
it's
Adrian.
yeah, it's very disheartening. Taking trips with my kids, I tend to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Nashville, they got mad at me. Because the doctors kept saying I was fine, and I kept telling the doctors that I was fine. So, but I couldn't walk, and they were just like, "There's nothing wrong with you. The doctors cleared you." But they understand now. But this was before. But we've got trips planned this summer, and I'm, debating what to do because it's a mile walk each day back and forth. And I don't know if I can do it. And it's very disheartening.
How does the pain and such play into preparation when you think about that mile in between your locations? Do you sit there and map out on Google Maps all the places that you can stop along the way, or how do you approach that?
It's pretty much the same track, so I know it very well. It's in Myrtle Beach. So
Mhm.
I know where we're going. I know where I can stop. There's plenty of places along the way to stop and sit down. So that's planned ahead of time, and they're aware that we're gonna have to stop. Y'all can keep walking. I know where we're going. Y'all can go ahead. I'll be there when I get there, kind of thing.
So
We
not
do
only
have
do
several
we have,
doctors along Myrtle Beach. Sorry, we do have a lot of doctors over there. Did we decide your insurance doesn't go there? Is that what happened?
Yes, it does. And I found
Ah,
his name. It was Dr. Hochberg that I saw down in Charleston with
yeah,
Coastal Vascular. And he
yeah.
was actually going to come up to the Myrtle Beach location and do the procedure before the insurance was denying everything. They were
Oh,
denying
that's
it.
what happened.
They were denying it because of, they said they needed to know the percentage of blockage, and it was a mess. And that I hadn't done a 6-month walking program, but I had pretty much walked until I couldn't walk anymore. So
And so now it
that's,
might be the time. Now you might be
yes.
able to get something. Okay, so if you need me to get in touch with them for a revisit, I'm happy to.
Okay. I might do that now that we can
Yeah,
do
how
it.
far are you? Talk to us about your walking program right now.
Well, since September, I was doing at least 2 miles a day. No problem. It was beautiful. We had beautiful weather here on the coast, and but starting mid-January is when all this really cranked up even worse.
Mm,
So, and like I said, it's just on the left. The right's still perfect, but I try to keep walking. I work night shift, and I'm on the ground walking all night long. There's no breaks. You're on your feet all night long, and that's become an issue. I can't walk right now because we had a rare snow dump of
I heard about that. I'm
yes,
still hearing about that.
yes, we are
Oh,
still.
yeah, yeah.
We've never, well, it's been since 1989 since we had a snow like this. So,
Wow.
yeah.
For us, and for us, we beat records.
Yes.
Who is that? Kimberly.
I said,
Is
we
that?
beat records. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. No
Well,
at the
I'm
beach.
coming back in 2 weeks, so I'm hoping there's going to be a little bit of a clear up so I don't drive in snow, so it'll be interesting.
No, neither do I. I haven't been out of the house since Saturday night when it started.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully have a nice warm fireplace or something.
Oh, yeah, it's warm. And yeah, definitely.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. Well, we'll get you taken care of down there as soon as it clears up down there in Coastal Vascular. Great vascular surgeon down there. So, and
Yes.
there's also a brand new interventional radiologist that just moved into that area. So I can find out if the insurance denies it at one place, maybe it'll approve it at a different one. So we're
Yeah.
getting more and more options for you. But I'm wondering, in light of Kevin Thomas Morgan, who is my co-host for this, and he wrote amazing books. And I put a YouTube link over here, youtube.com/the @fit old dog. If all of you can make sure to subscribe to his channel, he puts out great videos that really help to improve circulation. He has yoga toes on there. He has the P.A.D 100. You could be doing those every single day. You can be picking up a towel with your toes every single day. But even more importantly, in light of his current situation, he made a plea a couple weeks ago that he wants everyone to get your heart checked. How many of you have actually, before starting a walking program, have actually been with a cardiologist and are getting your heart checked, asking for a stress test, asking for a PET scan?
I had that all done in September
Okay, good.
and was
And you're all
cleared.
clear.
I was all
Okay,
clear.
so no valvular issues, no nothing. Because a lot of times, so a couple of reasons for, or maybe a few reasons for stents getting blocked up. Number one, it's not a matter of if they get blocked, it's a matter of when. When it comes to the iliac stents, it's usually more rare. We typically see it if the doctor ended up putting in stents that were too small for the artery. Maybe they didn't use what's called intravascular ultrasound to properly
Yep.
size and place those stents. Or
I
there
have
might be some sort of clotting issue and you're throwing clots that maybe they haven't noticed. So it's worth double checking to see if you have valvular issues or AFib, or in your aorta, there might be a some sort of aneurysm. So it's always worth checking. You might have a clotting disorder that has reared its ugly head suddenly late in life that you need to see a hematologist. So you need to explore these things when your stents are blocked up. And the one that's most likely is always, especially if the stents are in the thigh or below, is just a healthy healing response, and your body builds up scar tissue in those areas.
Okay.
I have
I don't know.
5 up in the, what is that? I can't say the word. In my stomach area.
Okay, so you had yours in the aorta and the iliac arteries, right? You have the
Yes, 5.
aorta, and then the iliac arteries branch off that down to the common femoral artery, which is in your, I call it your sit artery. It's in your bendy spot when you sit. That's every time you sit, that's where your common femoral artery is. It's an area
Okay.
they do not stent ever. And then below that, you have your superficial femoral artery that feeds your thigh.
Okay. All I know is I've got 3 on one side and 2 on the other.
Okay. In your iliacs?
Yeah.
Okay. And are those the ones that you think are blocked?
They said they're all blocked.
Oh, and have you been checked? Have you had your heart checked for AFib or valvular issues or your
No.
aorta for an aneurysm? No?
Actually, I didn't even know that they were watching a blocked one. I was feeling good. And then all of a sudden, I said, I got to go in sooner for this because they didn't want me to come in until May, I think it is. And I said, no, something's wrong. So when I went in, they did my tests and they said everything is blocked.
Oh, wow.
So now
Yeah, with the iliacs.
I have to go have the dye test now, but they're only doing the lower. Why aren't they doing my whole body?
They should do from your abdomen down.
But why not my heart to find out what
You
if
can,
something's
it's
going on up here?
right, it's a separate test. So are you seeing, is your vascular doctor a vascular surgeon or is your vascular doctor an interventional cardiologist?
He's a vascular surgeon, I think.
Okay, so what you need is a referral to a cardiologist. Do you have a cardiologist?
Mm-mm,
Okay,
no.
where are you located?
I'm in Salem, Indiana. I go
Salem.
to I go to New Albany in Baptist Health.
Okay, they have cardiologists there, and I'm sure they have decent interventional cardiologists as well. Your primary care should, what I would say is, hey, I need to get checked. I may be clotting. My iliacs are all blocked up. They don't know why. I'm wondering if I have some sort of AFib or valvular issue or potential thoracic aneurysm that might
So I need
be
to talk
leading to
to my
clots.
I need to talk to my primary doctor then.
I would talk to your primary doctor and get a referral because I would want to know if those are in fact clots. We just don't know. We don't know if your doctor ended up putting in stents that were too small. That's a question that you do need to ask your vascular surgeon to double check. Once you have the CT angiogram, they should know if the stents were too small.
Okay,
And if
because I
they're
had
too
it done
small,
in
they're going to block.
yeah, I had it done in Michigan. So Grand
You had the
Rapids.
stents done in Michigan?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And then I
That
moved.
could
Well,
be.
actually, I moved here, and then it was a messy situation, but I finally got the surgery done in Michigan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, usually an aorta and iliac should be a no-brainer. I mean, those are really big arteries. As long as they use intravascular ultrasound, if you can go back and find those records. The good thing is that you're going to a different doctor right now, and they'll be honest about where, whether or not the stents that were placed were too small.
They gave me cards on the stents.
Right. And you should show them the size of the stents, but they can usually tell if the stents that were placed were too small. And then you have a couple of options. If they are too small, get them opened up one more time, see if it's fine. If they're getting blocked too quickly, we always hate to do this, but you can get an aortobifemoral bypass, and that can last 30 to 40 years. It's unfortunate when they place stents that are too small, but we don't know. It could be that, or it could be you might have a clotting issue. We see a lot of aortas and iliacs getting blocked up because of that. So, you got to ask the doctor those questions and get that referral to your primary care.
Okay.
Whatever you need to say to get that referral, I would definitely double check.
Okay. I'll
Are
call and
you?
make an appointment with her then.
And here's my question for everyone, including Kimberly, this is a really good question for you. Are you walking fast enough or at a pace that's giving you a cardiovascular workout?
I
And
was, I was doing really well because I've lost a lot of weight and I was doing really well. And then all of a sudden I just felt it like I can't, I can't walk.
yeah, that's why I wonder if you have some clots that are being thrown. So I would also ask for a referral to a cardiologist and a hematologist to see if you have any sort of clotting disorders or something that might be causing clots to be thrown.
Okay. Thank you.
Especially since it's blocked so quickly, of course. Hi Colette, hi Matt and Yvette and Wanda and Mike, hi Mike and Marilyn and Beth and Marina and Carl and Angela, and oh my goodness, we have a great room full, don't we, Douglas?
Yes, ma'am, we sure do.
So
Anyone want to share? Yeah,
I have a
who's that?
question.
Hi, Carl.
Hi, I have a question and an answer. In other words, a discussion around what you just raised, which is, are you sure you're walking fast enough to get cardiovascular workout?
Mhm.
And so, my distance has been increasing, and I've gotten occasionally up to 4 miles, but that's too much for me. It's not too much. I mean, I'm not walking very fast. What happens is, if I get up to a certain threshold pace, which, I mean, my heart doesn't get up. If I walk up a hill, I might hit 120, but most of the
Okay.
time I'm like averaging in the 90s.
Okay.
And I would like to get more than that, but the problem I encounter is when I get to that threshold pace, my joints start giving me grief.
Yeah.
So, I'm speculating that part of that is because I was on the downhill slide for a long time before I knew that I had PAD, before I ever heard of PAD. So I think basically my joints, my tendons, whatever it is, got deconditioned over that period of years. I do feel like it's improving, but
Yeah.
it's not like I'll even try to run 10 steps because I used to get ice picks in my knee and that kind of stuff going on. But so I mean, I would like to go faster, but I don't really know how to make that happen yet.
And so it doesn't have to be by walking. And I know it almost becomes, I don't know for how many of you, it feels like your exercise program has now become a full-time job, because you have to walk, right, Douglas? You have to walk. And then if you're not getting your cardio workout, then you need to do something else to give you a cardio workout. But that's really where, Carl, if you haven't gotten your up to pace, where you are getting that consistently, I would double check with a cardiologist and say, hey, can I have a stress test? Can I have a PET scan to check my heart? Because I'm a little breathy at that level when I start to push it. And I'm concerned your right coronary artery can make you very breathy if it's narrowed, if it's severely narrowed. And that's what ended up happening to our friend Kevin, is the right coronary ended up severely narrowed. And he could barely, with his breath, get anywhere. Same thing with my dad. He called me, he couldn't even make it up 2 steps suddenly, when he went to his Rotary meeting, and he's like, something's wrong, and his right coronary was blocked. So you don't want to ignore those types of symptoms. They may seem minor, you may have every excuse in the world, right, Douglas? Like, oh, I just didn't get enough sleep last night, or I'm just out of shape, or whatever, but you can't brush off those symptoms. If you have shortness of breath, think and make sure you get to a cardiologist and get that checked. Does that make sense, Carl? I mean, if you need help getting to another one, but you have a cardiologist near you, don't you?
Yeah, I have the Greg Hayes, vascular surgeon.
He's the vascular surgeon, yeah.
Yeah.
And he works with a really good interventional cardiologist that actually runs a PAD walking program at Swedish. But I
Okay.
do want, and if you want, I can message him and say, hey, I'm hearing from Carl that maybe, he's struggling with the cardio part, wondering if you could get him a referral over to cardio and get him a stress test, because he'd like to push it a little bit further, but he's concerned about symptoms when he pushes it, and we should get his heart checked. So I'm happy to do that if you want.
So I'm actually nowhere near home right now, so my insurance won't cover anything. But I'll be
Oh.
back in a while. I'll be back in like 6 weeks.
Okay.
So
Okay, good. Well, don't push it too much until then. But
No,
when you get
thank you.
home, you also,
yeah,
you have that
Well-
you have that slider, don't you? You also get a cardio workout off your slider.
I do.
What do you
That's
call
right.
that thing?
No, I do, but
Okay.
I'm not there.
And so
Well,
he
and I
brings up a good point. So Carla brings up a good point, you guys, that if you're not getting the cardio from walking, Carl, what do you use to get the cardio?
Yeah, so two things. One is a Nordic track cross-country ski machine.
Old school.
Very old school. It's an old school. It's oak and it's old school and it's old, but it works really well. And the other thing is I swim open water.
Good one.
So yeah, so I do get cardio workout, but not as much as I'd like.
And you can also get cardio through resistance training. And so that's also another option for you. If you pull up some videos on YouTube, you can get a cardio workout. There are different videos out there that it'll get your heart going just a little bit. And you can do that for 15, 20 minutes, maybe aside from
cool.
your walk.
All right,
So
cool. I'll check
I
that
like
out.
some of them. That's what I do while I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm working. I'll do 20 squats an hour.
Yeah,
Which is just
good.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
But you can also, I was just talking to a nurse practitioner over in Memphis, Tennessee yesterday. He's going to come in, actually, Douglas, in, I think, what is it's the week of not Valentine's. I think it's the week of the 21st, which is P.A.D Awareness Day. We call it P.A.D Awareness Day week. And I think he's going to come in on Wednesday and talk about using a foot cycle. I don't know how many of you, if you can afford a foot cycle, that's a really great option for you to use when you can't get out as just an adjunctive therapy. You can use it with your arms while you're just sitting there watching TV, and you can just, yeah, exactly, roll it with your feet when you're watching TV as well. So might be an option for anyone. Anyone have one?
No, I do swimming. I swim.
Who is
And
that?
That's me.
Matt,
Oh, Beth has
Yeah,
one.
I do
Oh, hi,
swimming
Matt.
twice a week. Hiya, guys. Everyone all right?
Yeah, how
So,
are you doing? How's the
Yeah,
UK?
I'm good. Yeah, very well. We've got a nice sunny day today. First day in 2 weeks. It's been raining a lot. So I walk before work, at work, after work,
Oh my goodness.
3 to 5 miles a day,
Wow.
through plantar fasciitis, through claudication. Just get on with it now. The old brain's had a bit of a crazy set about just doing it. I swim twice a week and I also cycle once a week. And yeah, swimming is awesome and so is cycling, definitely.
Yeah, swimming is a great low impact option that you can end up getting a really good cardiovascular workout, even if it's just, you know what I do? You're going to laugh at me, Matt. I'm such a goofball. And if I didn't have a pool in my backyard, I would never do this in public. But
Nice.
I put on adult swimmies. I put on weights on the bottom of my ankles, and I get one of those noodles and I put it between my legs, and I just do a little bicycle around the pool. And I really get a good cardio workout. I could do it for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm just about to join at my local sports centre a aqua class where they do a 45-minute in the pool, just doing lots of different movements and stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
I love it. How's your claudication though? What was your ABI? Do you remember?
Okay, so when I've just had a test last 2 weeks ago. So when I first got diagnosed, I was 0.5 in my left, 0.62 in my right, and then I got
Wow.
got my test back last week. I've changed my lifestyle completely, as you should. Give up smoking instantly, and I came back at 1.0 on my left, 1.2 on my
Wow.
right. So just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it all over Facebook. I'm so happy, it's insane. Still get a little bit of
Yeah.
fornication, but I walk through it. But it is like you say, it's just walk, walk, walk. Yeah,
Oh my
I know.
God, that is huge.
Amazing. Yeah, it is huge. Yeah. Yeah.
Where your blockages were your
in my both
blockages
my
mainly
thighs.
in
Yeah,
your
both my
thighs?
thighs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Oh
just
my God.
still have a few issues, still very in the head a little bit. Get a bit of tingling during the night sometimes, but it's emotional. It's a really mad emotional journey. I'm telling you, it's just like we're all hugging. Then me, the vascular nurse, my vascular doctor, and because I was shocked, I got hairs on my legs again. I got veins again on my legs. It's just like
Mhm.
yeah, it's brilliant. There's hope out there for everybody, and as people might know from me on Facebook, my little mantra is any distance is a good distance, without a doubt. Because when I first started, I could only walk about 50 yards and I'd be in pieces, crying my eyes out, couldn't believe how tight my legs were. And then I thought, if I walk the other way, that's probably 65, 70 meters, because I'm English, obviously, so we do meters. And then get to that point, and it's like, wow, I got to that point, and over 14 months, I've gone from 50 meters to probably, without stopping with a planter, probably a mile and a half.
Mm.
But then
Oh my
everything you
goodness.
told me, Kim, Bug, everybody on these forums and these websites, I have taken everything to heart and just done it. And
And
yeah,
what was the time frame? How long did it take
I
you to
got
do all this?
nosed. I got diagnosed in. Well, I knew something was wrong in June 23 when I was on holiday and I couldn't walk 100 yards to the bus stop from the campsite, and then I got diagnosed on the 23rd of December, which you always remember the day, 2024, and I gave up smoking on Christmas Day, a little Christmas present to myself, and then I've just thank you, Carl, Doug, and I've just not stopped. I walked. Parents picking me up, friends picking me up in pieces, sitting with me, because it's not just about the diagnosis; it's about the anxiety, because you know the old brain's a
That
very
was
powerful thing.
what I wanted to ask you, Matt. Just that little bit. How's that affected your whole process? Not only physically, but mentally and emotionally, and all that. It has made a sounds like a big impact.
Massive impact, Doug. I was such a bright, outgoing person, just fell into a shell. Probably 6 to 8 months. And then when I managed to walk around the block where I live, which is about a 15-minute walk, 0.75 miles, and got back and sat down with my parents and my friends, and I was just like, there was, you get sometimes every now and again, you get a little switch in your head. So every time I got good news from the doctors or the vascular team, I'd go to my local place, which is Frensham Ponds. It's a beautiful lake. And I think, right, that hill up there is another probably 250 meters. And my mind would just say, right, I'm going to get there. And luckily there was a bench at the top, so I managed to sit down like, yes. But it's always them little goals, nothing major. 50 meters one day when I first started, 10 meters one day when I first got diagnosed. And then every day it was like, right, if I can get to that stage, and by the end of, say, this week, that's a brilliant improvement. Now I'm back working, started work again last November as a maintenance guy, which I love, at a university. Got a van, don't want a van. If it's all right, I'll walk, please. Yeah, okay, you can walk everywhere. I get up every morning and my brain now tells me if I don't walk before I go to work, then it's a bit, you feel guilty. It's weird. But yeah, definitely puts you in a dark place getting diagnosed with something. And,
Yeah.
And I
and
think
then
what
Hi,
we're hearing
Natalie.
is that one step. Everyone start with that one step, right, Matt?
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Everybody's
It's
sitting here now, everybody on Facebook. There's such a good support network. I mean, it's difficult as a 57-year-old man to let people in, and I'm so glad I
Yeah.
did. And Mike knows. I spoke to Mike, who's there. I spoke to you, Kim. I spoke to people. Yeah, talk about it and do it, because even in the wet, my brother is at the home at the moment for a few months. He's getting some work done in his house, and he woke up the other day, and I'm outside at 6:15, 6:45, going for a walk, and he's like, "Well, it's raining." I'm like, "Yeah, but I've got to walk." I prefer to get wet than be in trouble with my claudication on my legs. But yeah, brilliant. It's I'm just yeah, it's very strange, very weird, very wonderful, and with my vascular team and my nurse, we are just setting a walking group up because I can't be the only person in my area that's got PAD, and they are actually putting it through their Frimley Park Hospital is my trust in Surrey, and they are actually putting it into their circulation. They're kind of like so where they go now and see a PAD patient, they will say this is what can be done, this is what can't be done, this is what you can have, and there's a walking group, and we start in March, and when it comes nearer the time, I will put it everywhere because
And
it's not just a. Sorry, go on.
if you want, you guys can use our walking app
Thank
and
you. Yeah,
and track it, and maybe we can use you as a pilot group to track your steps, and maybe they can monitor it there, and that could be really interesting to see how people improve. One of the things that we're
definitely.
looking to do is we're looking to
What does
create
she need?
an opportunity for we have a great in-studio audience. You might hear a few other sounds and voices every once in a while. For those tuning in on YouTube, while you're there on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button, help us out just a little bit. That would be great. But we're looking to do a find a buddy and thing on our app, which allows you to find and
Where do you
follow
find
other
me?
people, get notified when they're walking, so you can decide you want to walk too for a little extra motivation, and then have a way that you can actually talk to those people while you're walking. So you can talk to
Absolutely,
other people. That would be kind of cool, right?
because it's not just
Yeah,
what Doug's saying. It's sorry, go on, Kimberly.
I just said, yeah, where do you find it?
So I have to sign you up. So you can put your email in there, and I'll send you, or you can call our hotline right afterwards, and I can just sign you up right here.
For the
I just need a few pieces of information. Actually, I could find the link. I think I have a link for it,
Lovely.
and then I'll put it in chat, and you
Yeah,
guys
And
can
we
just
all know
sign up.
we all know I tend to walk further with my little girl Stella with me. And I also know that if I have a walking partner, I join a walking club here in my area. And if I have a walking partner, someone to help motivate me, I tend to walk more too. That's the importance of us sharing with each other, our
absolutely.
goals.
Yeah, I've joined the Ramblers, which is a local group which walk every day and obviously have work, but at weekends I invite them with me to go and walk. I knew from day one that I can't be the only person in my area, so I was like, well, you come to where I'm going to set this group up, and you walk as far as you want to go, and we will help you and track you. But we'll also sit in the coffee shop and have a coffee and talk about it, because I've said a few times, it's not just about the walking, it's about the anxiety in the mind. And that's going to be really important, because I've got a good support network with family and friends and you guys, but there's some people out there that don't have anybody to talk to, and it's like, well, come along. If you don't want to walk, that's not a problem, but we can have a nice coffee and a chat, and we can help you out some other way.
And I understand
So I
most of
was
us have malls near each other. We have what we call a mall walking group.
Yeah,
And they every morning they're out there, and I think there are more mall walkers now in our mall than there are people shopping.
yeah. See, my friends just said, do you
I
want to go
just
on a cruise? And I'm like, how do I go on a cruise and walk? And then I suddenly thought, well, I'll just keep going around the deck. And then by the last
I've
day,
got a
there was about
question.
four of us walking around.
Go
I just
ahead.
got a question for you. Just the walking groups. The reason I don't walk with people is because we're all stopping at different times, and we want to walk through
Yeah.
until we are in enough pain that it's time to stop. So that makes it difficult. You can't really walk and
Yep.
synchronize. You know what
So
I mean?
you bring up the most important point, I think. And what we do is, this is my struggle, and I'm curious how Matt and his team are going to handle this. I think we talked about you pairing people up. You need to walk with someone that we think it's better if you walk with someone who does not have PAD. So someone who doesn't have anything at stake and you want to keep up with them because you love talking to them and they don't mind stopping. They are fine if they stop because they're just enjoying the conversation with you and their body is not going to be negatively impacted, you know, like yours would if you stop, right? Your most important thing is to find a partner that you can walk with and you can push through that claudication with. Your 30 minutes of walking needs to be a dedicated time where you are focusing on when is the onset of this pain and how far can I push at that same pace, that brisk pace, until that pain gets to a level 7 or 8 and it forces me to actually stop, rest, let my legs reperfuse, and then start again. What we have found in walking groups with people who have PAD and is that different people get along with different people, and one person is always having to put their own regimen aside for the other person. And that's not good because then you're one person's walking at the detriment of the other and vice versa. So Douglas had the right idea where one day, and I remember what was it, light a red candle for walking or something, Douglas? And we were in this great conference. We had like 30, 40 people in there, all PAD warriors wanting to walk and light a red candle for walking. And Douglas right then and there says, you know what, I'm going to go online and I am going to find a regular walking group that does a 5K every single week somewhere in the area. And it turns out that when you go to this, they'll pair you with a normal walking buddy that just wants to be there to help other people and they take turns. And so go ahead,
Every
Douglas.
5K I did, I was able to be paired up with someone who would walk my pace, and when I needed to stop, they stopped. And we have Houston has about 8, 9 different running clubs, and every one of them has people that are designated to be walking partners.
Lovely.
So where the club I belong to, there was 4 of them. I was always set with one of them that would walk my pace and stop when I needed to stop. And I finished every 5K last. I was last in every one of them, but I finished every one of them.
Yeah. So going
Doug,
back
Doug,
to
how,
sorry.
Is there
Doug, how
a
far
pace that you're
how far?
supposed to at to get your heart rate up?
It's different for every person, Wanda. But I do want, and I feel like I should message your doctor about, I just want to make sure that your heart is checked as you do continue to exert and try and push more and more. We should get your heart checked, but you want to get it up. What is the pace for you? And different people, depending on your current shape as well, will depend. I mean, some people just getting out of a chair will get their heart going, right? Because they have been sedentary for so long. So it really depends, Wanda, on your situation. But you can get one of those, if you have a watch or something that can measure your pulse, that's a really good indication.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And how are you doing on the smoking, Wanda? Did you hear Matt? He quit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gave it up immediately. Bam. That's great.
Yeah, had some troubles with it, but
I'm sick right now, so I haven't smoked a cigarette since what day is it anyway? Today is Wednesday. I haven't had a cigarette since like about noon yesterday.
that's
Good
very
job.
good.
So
And
Work.
you're experiencing that weather a lot of other people are, aren't you?
yeah, well, I can't handle 16-degree temperatures, and then it feels like a 5. So, and I never miss work, but yeah, it's I'm feeling pretty peaked today. So,
Well, I'm coming up to a year. February the 13th is a
Hello,
year
Mike.
since I had a cigarette.
Come
that's
on.
great.
We have another one, Beth. It's been over a year also without a cigarette.
Yeah, December 15th of 2024 was when I had my last cigarette.
It's brilliant that we all know when we've done it and the times, and it's there in your mind that you know when you got
Well,
diagnosed, you gave up smoking, you started doing this.
Yeah,
I think that's fantastic.
but
December
it's
15th
amazing,
of
right? It's a
2020.
huge feat. Who
Well,
is
for
that?
me, that day is a very unforgettable day
Hiya.
for me. I almost lost my life as well as that being my last cigarettes. So, because I had a pretty bad stroke and I had to be life flighted to another hospital. So, not even knowing I was having a stroke was when I gave up my last cigarette. So, I guess
Yeah.
it all comes out. So, yeah.
What
We,
about
we
eating?
had this.
How are y'all? How's everybody doing on their eating habits?
I do
Now that's
great.
another thing.
What, Mike?
Mike,
Are
Mike,
you
Mike,
eating?
Mike,
Are
Mike,
you eating shit there in the
the
UK
big,
right now on your vacation?
the baked chips. Mike, what'd you do with that bag of baked chips?
Oh yes, the chips. Who just called him on the chips? Was that Marilyn?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
we
They were
we
pretty
heard
good, to be honest. They're not fried. They're not fried
they're
though. They're
baked.
baked.
They're
Yeah.
baked. Dr. Danziger called you out, but I loved your honesty with him though.
Yeah.
That you were like, okay, I know, I get it, but you can do. We should do one day some. You can actually make kale crisps, and
Okay.
they keep and they do pretty well. And you can put a little Old Bay seasoning. Our producer Josh really got me into this whole Old Bay seasoning crap. It really can be used for so many things. But you can put onion powder, garlic powder on there, a little bit of pepper, a little cayenne pepper, and then put them in the oven and just crisp the kale pieces. And you
Okay.
have, it's really satisfying actually. You get a little crunch, and you get the savoriness of the herb mixture. So it's worth trying. I know it's a little extra work,
I like
but
the
even
vegetable
better.
crisps though. I like
And
the
you could
beetroot
do,
ones and stuff.
yeah. So get beetroot ones, get ones that are baked. Make sure that you know, find ones that have maybe avocado oil, and oil
Mm,
you actually recognize. That's probably better.
yeah.
And would love to hear other folks. Nat, how are you with your diet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I'm a big crisp and peanut fan, and it's very difficult. It's like okay, but I'm getting there. It's all right. It's I seem to be really good at work, and then get home and it's like, oh, I've just done a little walk. Oh yeah, okay, let's go for that little bowl of berries or that big packet of crisps. It's the crisps at the moment.
Yep.
But not, but I'm all right. I've lost a stone and a half in 6 months, so we're going where we should be going.
And whether it's cigarettes or whether it's food, Douglas, how long does a craving last?
3 minutes. About 3 minutes.
So if you can hold out 3 minutes, you can get through any craving.
Then that'd be slow
Cigarettes
motion going
too?
back to the packet.
Is that for smoking too, Kim? 3 minutes?
That's for smoking, yeah.
Yep.
And one of
When
the
I
ways
was
that we have.
when I was trying to stop smoking, I would go brush my teeth.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. And mine
That's our
has
friend
been
Lisa.
April 6th since 2019 is when I
Wow.
stopped.
Excellent.
Wow.
See, we know the dates.
Yeah, it was my
I
son's
love that
birthday.
you would brush your teeth. You would brush your teeth. Would
Every
you
time
kind
I
of
wanted
suck
a
on the
cigarette,
toothbrush?
I'd go, yeah, because you don't want to smoke after you brush your teeth. You don't want to eat nothing after you brush your teeth.
Interesting. I bet you have the most beautiful pearly whites.
They're paid for.
I guess I
That's
was a
what
different
Smoking
smoker.
will take your teeth too. Smoking will take your teeth.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Yep.
will. I had to go to the dentist. Like I've been having oral surgery. It's horrible.
Oh,
I'm 62 and I have had dentures since I was 36.
wow.
Yeah. So
So quit if you can. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
But one of the things that they were saying, and I know Wanda, you were there for Dr. Peter Ferrugia from Central New Jersey. He talked about doing this backpack. Matt, you're gonna love this. This is hilarious because Matt wasn't there. I don't know. A lot of you guys weren't there. This is the funniest shit ever. So, but it works. So Dr. Ferrugia says he tells all of his patients who are smoking to get a backpack, and however many cigarettes that they typically have in a day, he wants you to fill that backpack with that many little 8-ounce bottles of water. And he said it's going to be heavy, your back's going to hurt, but every single time you have a craving, he wants you to put that water bottle up to your lips and not let it leave your lips for 3 minutes. So suck slowly, and even if you finish that water bottle before the 3 minutes is up, still keep sucking on it. And he says by day 2, you're going to be bloated, your back's going to hurt, and you're going to be cursing his name by day 3. But by day 4, you're like, screw it. I am done with this whole thing. I'm done with smoking. I'm done with this pain. I'm done with this suffering. I'm just done. And we had 5 people quit smoking last week, which was amazing.
Brilliant.
Different people adapted it. And one of the ways that I thought was the most interesting adaptation was using a straw. And so instead of carrying around the backpack, we had Marianne that was walking around with a water bottle that had a straw. And every time she had the craving, she would suck on the straw and suck up the water. And she would not let the straw leave her lips until the 3 minutes was up. And she would sit there and kind of chew on the straw a little bit. And she said it worked.
More than
Yep,
one way
there's
to
Douglas
skin a
Doug.
cat.
Absolutely.
And it just
Douglas,
reminds me the whole show today is about becoming our best advocates all around for ourselves, isn't it? How we have to stop smoking, change our eating habits, walk, 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 so that we can save our lives and our legs. And it's an amazing journey that we all share together, and how the different experiences intersect each other, and all our roller coasters ride in this journey together.
Yeah, that dadgum walking hurts, man. I used to not have problems. I mean, I'd be bopping along at 2.1 miles per hour for 30 minutes, had music cranked up, and now I'm just like 5, maybe 8 minutes. It's sitting in, and I'm like, dear God, just let it be over.
I know.
It's-
I know. I understand. I get it. I've had a similar situation for almost 5 years. I've been walking pretty good. I was walking like about 4 miles, 5 miles a day, having to stop, but not really, not, I can walk for a long ways. Now I've kind of gone backwards and still trying to figure it out, but I get it. It's been very depressing for me. I'm still depressed.
yeah.
we're
Yeah, I
here for
stayed in,
you.
when I was diagnosed, I stayed in the bed for 6 months after I was diagnosed in
Oh my God.
2015. Yep. Well, it's because my first doctor wanted to amputate. So,
As
Oh, I
frontline
hate
treatment,
hearing.
Lisa?
yep, yep. That
Oh,
put me in a deep
geez.
depression.
I hate
Oh,
hearing that. I
yeah.
can't stand it.
I went through 5 doctors before I found my doctor in Tyler.
And the other
Yeah.
thing that worries me is that I'm Canadian, so I don't have access to all these doctors. I mean, there's a few doctors in Canada, but I don't have. Kim said to me, "Oh, go to Maryland. They got this great doctor. I can get you in there." I don't know what's it going to cost me, $100,000 to go see him. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually for a cash base, and it's still a lot. It's for one of those procedures, it's probably about $7,000 or $8,000 in the US to get a procedure.
Wow.
I know.
That we had
Yeah.
that insurance show this past weekend, and the insanity of what's going on out there. It's something.
Yeah, we have the insurance companies right now here in the US that in 24 states, we have 2 billers that are contracted through Medicare that are not honoring new billing codes for revascularization procedures for doctors who are in office-based labs. And so if a doctor does not have hospital privileges to not only do procedures in their own clinic, but also in the hospital, then they're just not being paid for any of the tools or their staff or keeping the lights on during procedures right now. And they think it's a glitch, a technical glitch. Novitas, which is more central and East Coast, they have started manually kind of overriding the automated system, but they still have not paid any of the doctors since January 1st. The
Terrible.
Noridian, right? Noridian, which is more West Coast and I think to Idaho possibly, they are just denying every single revascularization claim that is coming their way from an office-based doctor who is performing these procedures since January 1st. So we're all going to Capitol Hill February 11th. If any of you are here in the US, it would be great if you could just submit a form on your website of your congressman or senator and say, hey, I need your help. I have this disease and I hear friends of mine are impacted by this. They can't get their procedures done because doctors are not being paid due to a technical glitch. I think I put a note inside our big group at padsupportgroup.org if you wanted to copy and paste and send that off to your representative. But on Capitol Hill on February 11th, they're holding a PAD caucus. And we have a couple of our friends from the group that are actually going to go and speak on Capitol Hill. And they volunteered their time to do it. Both of them have had one leg amputated and are very vocal about their experience and, you know, wanting to improve the care for patients. But part of that, one of the doctors is going to be speaking about insurance and saying, hey guys, you want more patients to end up like this? Yeah, keep not paying. So they're going to be pushing
Kim,
for better coverage and early testing.
who will
I
they
hope-
be speaking to on Capitol Hill?
Who's
Who will be
talking?
the, who
Say that
will
again?
they be speaking to? Who will they be speaking to on Capitol Hill?
I don't know who the P.A.D caucus is right now. I know that there was a turnover of people involved. One of the congressmen had lost his life. And he had P.A.D. and I think it was C.A.D. And this is why I keep telling all of you guys, please get your heart tested. If your doctor won't test your heart, come to me and we will plot. I'm serious. There's evidence that supports getting your heart tested if you have P.A.D., period. Because when you're exerting, right, Douglas, when you're exerting through that pain, the pain and that extra exertion gets your heart going. And for most of people with PAD, it had been a long time prior to seeing the doctor, prior to getting diagnosed, prior to starting a real walking program where you learned you need to walk through the pain to grow those collateral vessels. Your heart may have also started blocking up. And you may not realize it until you start exerting. And when you're pushing through the pain, what happens? Your heart starts racing, blood pressure goes up, and that could actually be a deadly combination. So you got to say that to your doctor. You got to push it. We got to create a groundswell because there are still vascular surgeons out there who don't believe in unnecessary testing, that unless you actually have a symptom, angina, which is antiquated, they're not going to test you. And I will tell you, I'm tired of people in my network dying because of this. Okay.
We have
I've
enough
had now
members of
4
the
people.
Zipper Club.
And now you have Kevin, whose doctor didn't do regular advanced testing and should have done advanced testing, because if they would have done advanced testing sooner, maybe they would have caught that right coronary artery sooner and they would have been able to get a wire and balloon through it. And so there are minimally invasive things that you can do to open those up if they're causing a problem, especially that LAT and that right coronary. So please get tested, and you can call our hotline 1-833-PAD-LEGS and we'll help you, or email me kym@padhelp.org and I'll help you even in the UK. But you got to strategize and you got to get it done.
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you. You are
In
doing
Canada too, Kim?
In Canada too, you've got to get that heart checked. In Canada, you're going to have to, they still consider angina the #1. So here,
No, I meant,
what they've learned
I meant
is,
your congress. your contacts I was talking about. You can help people in the UK and the States. You didn't mention Canada.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. In Canada and Australia, it's just a matter of, I know here in the States, they've really talked a lot more about the fatigue being the new angina. And so I bet you won't even have to lie, because if I got you to a point where you started exerting and you're going to be short of breath
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to have a little tightness in your chest, that's what you need to report. And so many
Right.
people they're like, oh no, I don't have any heart symptoms. And then I ask them, I'm like, okay, well, let's start walking and let's start increasing it. What are you feeling? Well, I'm a little short of breath, but I'm just out of shape. No making excuses. No making excuses. Okay, keep going. Yeah, actually, I'm feeling a little something there. Okay. So you need to report that. You need to talk to a cardiologist. And it may not mean that you need to have any sort of roto-rooting procedure of your heart. They might just need to add a little extra medication to help you with that. And we've seen that as well. But you got to know and you got to get checked.
Thank you for that
And
Thank
information.
you.
Yeah,
Douglas, you want to
definitely.
tell them your
That involves
your
it
story?
all around. That involves PAD involves taking care of ourselves all around
All around.
and
Yep.
all around and knowing from
When
point
Jerry
A to
was sick,
point B. Huh?
when Jerry was sick, when my husband was sick, they kept telling me that I had high blood pressure. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. And I started taking it at home, and I did. And I was 61 when he passed away, and I've never had high blood pressure in my life. So we have to, take care of ourselves too, not just leave it to the doctors.
Same way with diabetes. If
Yeah.
you need to keep track of this, because if you're pre-diabetic, you don't want to become diabetic. If you're
Yep.
diabetic, and now they've changed the food pyramid a little bit, turned it upside down a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have to constantly stay aware of our progression as we go through this disease, and being our best advocates.
So
Okay, guys.
I had a wonderful cardiologist, and she retired, and she wanted to make sure I had a cardiologist always following me. She referred me to another fellow. He talked to me and he said, I don't believe in doing tests. I wait for symptoms. The outcome's the same anyway. And I realized I could not work with him. So I did not go back to a follow-up appointment. And now I don't have a cardiologist because of that.
Okay, well, you'll tell me where you are and I'll get you one, because I don't
Yeah.
believe in tests when there's no symptoms. Well, if you're not asking the right question of a PAD patient, of course, they're not going to tell you what symptoms they experience or that they have symptoms. You have to ask the right questions. For example, with my dad, his one cardiologist brought him in because he had 8% growth in his plaque year over year, which is pretty significant. When you saw that he had, 80% narrowing in his arteries and in his coronary arteries. And he asked my dad, how are you feeling? My dad's like, oh, I'm fine. He's like, okay, well, I'll see you in 6 months. So I said, Dad, why don't you go to the VA and talk to your primary care and see if you can get a referral to cardiology. So he calls his primary care, and the primary care doctor, before my dad even starts, he's like, I just looked at this chart and the imaging from your 256 slice CT scan. You have a significant amount of growth. Are you having trouble with walking? My dad says, what? I don't know. I mean, I walk every morning. And he's like, let me ask the question a different way. How far were you walking a year ago versus today? He's like, yeah, I just can't seem to walk as far as I used to. And he said, well, why is that? Well, I was getting a little short of breath. Oh, really? So he gets him on the table. His right coronary was more than 95% blocked.
Oh my
His
goodness.
LAD had moved up to about 85% blocked. And the cardiologist, after he kind of woke up, he's like, dude, you would have had a massive heart attack in less than 3 months, the rate you were going here. What the heck? So you got to ask your doctor has to ask the right questions, but also you need to be the best advocate to know your body and know your signs and symptoms. It's why we tell you to use our walking app, so that you know what you're walking today versus tomorrow versus the next day versus 6 months from now. And it also tracks your symptoms. And so every single day, you might not remember that 3 months ago you were experiencing shortness of breath. And now 3 months later, you're not taking as many steps as you used to. But we can see that. And that's a really important sign that you might want to get your heart checked.
Also, ego,
Thank you.
pride, stubbornness, hard-headedness. We need to let those things go sometimes and be more honest with our doctors about how we're feeling, because I don't want to wait till my tire blows out to change my tire out, because then
Probably
I'm
not.
gonna
Good
get
point.
stuck on the side of the road somewhere, and I don't want. I was
That was
going
a good
into
analogy.
surgery and I had a stroke, and before that, so yeah, I mean, preventative maintenance is the number one thing, isn't it, that we have to be aware of. And we
Yeah.
know PAD and heart disease have a correlation. We know that. That's a given. So we need to be aware of that. And wouldn't it feel a lot better knowing that, yeah, I need to just walk a little more to catch my breath? Or I do have blockages. Now you know you can prepare and uh, do the right things and be your best advocate.
And you really got to
Yeah.
stay on that, because back in December of 2015, I was having symptoms. I was having pinching sensations going on in my chest. And I kept telling my doctor, I'm feeling something, something's not right, And they sent me to a cardiologist. He got me in, did a heart cath. Come to find out, the LAD valve was 90% blocked. November 20th, November 2020, November 2020 was when I was diagnosed with PAD. So that's 5 years later, and I'd had symptoms for over 4 years of not being able to walk right, having excruciating pain. I used to go out and dance all the time, and I couldn't do it because I was in so much pain. So, within the time of having the heart cath to the time I was diagnosed, I think the two and two kind of went together, like you talk about, Kim, sometimes,
Mhm.
so why mine could have been caught sooner, because I ended up with 100% blockage in the external iliac artery on my left leg, and I had to have kissing stents put in. They told me I was very lucky when I got in, that because I was so close of losing my leg. My interventional cardiologist told me, she says, Beth, she says, what we did as a procedure should have been done as surgery. That's how blocked, that's how calcified I was in that blockage. It was bad. So yeah, we got to stay up on it.
Yep. So important. Thank you for sharing that, Beth.
Yeah.
It's so
Okay,
important.
guys.
And
I've got to shoot off. But thank you,
yeah,
everybody. You lot are
thanks, Matt.
amazing. I
Does
speak
Thanks,
to you
anyone
Matt.
soon,
else?
Kim.
We'll see you on Saturday. Actually, Matt just volunteered to, or did I volunteer you? He's going to come
I
on
think you
Saturday and
volunteered
share his
me,
whole
but
story.
definitely don't mind sharing.
I think that would be so amazing. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Just to
worries.
get it. Yeah. And you got the perfect backdrop, so we're going to be all set, and we'll get you the info. And I'll get you all signed up today. Yay!
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Take care. See you soon.
Yeah,
Thank you,
hopefully
Matt.
everyone can join on Saturday to support him. That would be really fun. I hope all of you can come back on Wednesdays. This has been really, really fun. We have such a great group here. I didn't even get to say hi to Natalie. I said for a second.
Hello.
Natalie.
What time is it there for you guys?
So on Saturday it'll be 7 p.m. London time.
7 p.m. London time. So that'll be 9 there in the winter now. It'll be 9 o'clock my time on Saturday. Yeah. It's just hard, like to try and I can never work out the time differences. I'm from South Africa, everybody. It's very
Hi from South Africa. How are you
yeah.
doing? I know you were struggling for a while, and it's just so hard to find good care down there.
Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. I don't know if I told you I had the FemPop bypass and it has blocked up totally. So my
Okay,
right leg, my right leg is surviving on collaterals only. So the femoral artery was obviously replaced, and that's blocked up, but with blood clots, not plaque. I've actually got
Yep,
very little plaque.
So they can go in there and open that up. They can actually tell them they can go in there and do a little thrombolysis. They can go in, if you catch it soon enough, they can do a catheter directed delivery of clot busting drugs, just a little bit to see if it'll loosen things up. And then they need to change your medication and get you on the right cocktail to stop the clotting, because you're clotting.
The clot only clotted in that saphenous vein after my bypass. There's no other clotting going on. It's so weird. So I was on rivaroxaban in South Africa.
Okay.
It's called a different name. And the aspirin one for the heart, but they only put me on that after the bypass to try and keep the bypass open.
Okay.
So I was on that for about 6 months, and I'm now not on it anymore because nothing else is blocking up. It's so weird. We still don't know what we think it might have been the COVID vaccine, because my heart is clear, everything else is clear. And like I said, I've only got in my right leg, it's just collaterals that are feeding my foot. There's nothing else.
Okay,
That's all I
so
have
did
in
they
both
check?
legs. That's both
And
of
like
my
with
legs.
Yeah, so
I,
you might
I am
have, so it might
walking.
not be in your heart, because maybe there's AFib, maybe there's a valvular issue, maybe there's a thoracic aneurysm, maybe it's an aortic aneurysm where you end up with clots that will go south, get caught up going south, and they're not having any issue because they're not even getting to your heart, because they're just blocking up your legs first.
Yeah. It's so difficult because, so in South Africa, we've got a thing, we're on medical aid. So it's private. We pay, for myself, it's 5,000 Rand a month, which is about, if you work it back, about $250 a month. So you get certain things that are covered on the medical aid. And then everything else you start funding out of your pocket, because our
Oy.
national health care here is disgusting. Like I would be dead if I was going to a government, what we call a government hospital here. But it's really, so I had in my right leg 2 stent ops, and then obviously the bypass, and that all came to just below R1 million, which is about $50,000 in America. And then everything else that every time I see the vascular surgeon here, it's about 1,000 Rand, which is about,
Oh my God.
yeah, it's expensive. So you can't just keep going back and back and back and back, because you literally would be bankrupted.
Yeah.
What
You
is
literally
medical
would be.
age?
Beg your pardon?
What is medical age?
Medical aid. So it's like private. It's like private
What time?
healthcare.
What time? What age is that? What does that start at?
Oh no, you can be
50,
on. No, it's
60
called
years
medical.
old, 70
No,
years
no,
old?
no,
Medical,
no. That's
Douglas, it's medical aid.
Uh-oh.
aid.
It's
Yeah,
medical
it's totally
aid.
private
Okay.
on it from a young age, but you have to be able to afford it. And in South Africa, yeah, it's expensive for us. It's really
Yeah.
expensive for us.
Wow.
So I'm getting the best care that I can get, but you can't just keep going back, because you have to self-fund after a certain period of time. You only get X amount. So I get 1 vascular visit a year that they pay for, and then the rest we have to fund ourselves, because they don't see the heart and the legs as connected. They don't see it. So they don't pay for statins. They pay for my blood pressure medication, which is really cheap. They
Yeah.
don't pay for any of the blood thinners. So, like, you literally have to have a blocked artery in your heart for them to approve those medications. And I never had any in my heart approved because my heart was clear. So it's such a difficult, weird situation. So I am so committed. I had my last cigarette about 2.5 years ago. I don't have any sugar. I don't eat any carbohydrates. I don't have any pies, any sweets, any chips, I live on lean meats and vegetables and fruits.
Good for you.
I don't have hardly any dairy. And I've been doing this for about 18 months now, and I just walk, and every step is agony. I just walk and walk and walk. So it's very, you guys are actually really lucky in America.
How do they
even though
consider your
I know it's crazy, hey.
How do they consider
don't,
your heart and your legs not part of it? As far as I know, my heart and my legs are connected to everything else.
Yes.
100%. It's your vascular system, isn't it? So I mean, it goes down from the heart through the arteries down to your lower extremities and then back up through your veins. So I don't know how they come to that conclusion. I actually
and
have.
that's where, if you have another appointment, you might want to ask, just say, okay, we got to figure out where these clots are coming from. And could they be coming from an aortic aneurysm? Could they be coming from AFib or valvular issues? Or do we need to do an extra blood test to see? But at the very least, they should be, if it's not structural, you should be able to, the medicine, the rivaroxaban should be working to help you. But Colette Colette, you can join in.
I haven't clotted up anymore since my bypass. That we figured out my bypassing was in January last year. And initially the blood was flowing and I was on the rivaroxaban. But then after time, as I started walking, I was building up my walking nicely. And then all of a sudden it started getting sore again. And I knew something was wrong. And then they admitted me into hospital again and did another CT scan angiogram for my lower extremities.
Yeah, and
I
they
saw that it was
should.
totally blocked.
Yeah, but they could have at that point. I don't know why they didn't do a catheter delivery of a little blood, clot busting drug to clear out some of that clot.
They maybe don't know how to do it here.
They might not have it as an offering. I would imagine that they would. They just might not think to have it.
I'm on my third vascular surgeon now. The first one did the first 2 procedures and the bypass. And then we moved to another city where I managed to get a vascular surgeon there to see me. And he's the one who actually admitted me. And then they said that it was blocked. But they were very reluctant to do anything because my leg is so fragile. And they said that if they do something and it doesn't work, it might leave me in a worse state than I am. And then
it's because they're not comfortable with their skill set.
When I came back to Johannesburg, I went to see yet another new vascular surgeon. And he said that he would actually have followed the same protocols that the first one followed and agreed with the second one. So they are now just, making me walk, doing diets. I'm keeping my foot covered. And he sees me every 3 months to measure and see how my foot is getting on. And he said that if I get a sore or anything on my foot, I have to contact them straight away obviously then they will do another intervention, and the only intervention they can do is another bypass. And I obviously am very scared because they would take the saphenous vein out of my left leg to use and I've got the disease in both legs, but my left leg has got stents and balloons and it has been stable now for 2 years. So I'm very, I don't really want to use my last saphenous vein for another bypass in case I need it for my left leg or
Okay.
my heart.
Yeah. And they definitely used, I mean, I believe they run parallel, they have duplicates. So,
Yes.
and that's probably what they told you too.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why they can't go in and just try to clear it out first. I mean, they must not be.
What would that involve? Would that go through the groin?
They could go through the groin. I mean, some doctors go through the foot and come up from the bottom and clear things out just for protection. If things going
Yeah.
downstream, they poke the bear, because if you poke the bear and this is what I think they're worried about, is if they poke the bear coming down from the top, you can just shower clots and trash your foot. So that might be what they're most worried about. And that's why they do what's called lysis, thrombolytic therapy, overnight, which can really be helpful to melt some of those clots if you catch them early. If you let them sit there, they're going to turn into tire rubber, by the time you get to them, and they really can't do anything but do a bypass. But I really want to know, I really want you to that's your homework. I really want you to figure out where are these clots coming from, and you need to push. We need to know where those clots are coming from. Is it a hereditary issue? Is it an aneurysm?
No,
Is it an aortic aneurysm?
nobody.
I mean, your heart may not have blockages, but what if you have a leaky valve in your heart, or you have
They checked my valves. They did a echo sonar, and they did an ECG, and obviously I had the CAT scan to see where I actually was with the cardiologist, and they went in through my wrist, through the arteries in my wrist, and went all the way into my heart. But they said my valves and everything are fine. My valves are perfect. So heart appears to be really, really good.
That's good. And you might want to check, did you ever have high blood pressure?
I've got very high blood pressure. I'm on medication. I'm on two different tablets for blood pressure. And it's much lower, but it's still on the high side. And they said that like my readings are like 148 over 93. It's lower than it was, but they said that that's probably due to the blockages in my leg, that my blood pressure is higher.
Yeah, it can definitely impact, but I would double check and have your aorta checked just in case, and just say, hey, I just know that you can, the only other thing is, sometimes there's a cancer brewing, and that can throw clots too. And I hate to even throw that out there, but I've had two people. I know, I'm sorry, but I did have two people that had that, and thank goodness we caught it early. But it was only because I asked the question that they were able to get it caught early. So, and you get it caught early, and there are things you can do. But same thing with an aneurysm, is you want to catch it early.
This clot's been now for about 8 months. Would that already have turned to hard already?
Okay. We kind of lost you just there. Yep, we lost you for a second.
I said the clot in my leg has been there for about 8 to 10 months already. Would that be too late? Is that why they're not doing anything?
Yeah, that could be, because if it's been there for a while, sometimes that can turn into tire rubber, and it can be less. But it's also a concern, because if they get through that tire rubber, and then on the other side there are a bunch of loose clots, and then they poke through, that's what we call kind of poking the beehive. And that's what I think they're afraid of. And here, they just have additional therapies, but I would keep continuing to push, but you can go to youtube.com/the @fit old dog and just treat it like our friend Kevin Thomas Morgan, who, has that website. And just as if you have a blocked popliteal artery in your knee, and just grow those collaterals, He
Yeah.
was able to
Well,
grow
that's the
collaterals.
only thing that's feeding my lower leg and my foot at the moment is collaterals.
And you can do it. You can literally build enough. I know it's almost like a full-time job and it's annoying,
Yes.
but you can do it, right?
Yeah,
I did
I'm
it.
doing it. I'm doing it. Why don't you come and move to South Africa and then you can help us here? Because we don't know the right questions to ask. There doesn't seem
Kimberly.
to be a very big community for this, or people are just not aware,
Yeah,
I'd say they're not
we
aware.
need to build, we did have someone that was helping us there, but he was more interested in his own fame than helping, our group. So it was a little frustrating for us, that we were
Yeah.
trying to build a community, and do it, and we kind of got bamboozled a little bit. So, would love to start something um, with you, start building, see if we can, I can add you to our South Africa group. The thing, we have to start locating where a lot of these doctors are. I know a lot of them are, they're in Johannesburg, they're in Cape
Yeah,
Town.
I'm in
Mhm.
Johannesburg. I'm in Johannesburg now.
But I can find out, let me see if there is another doctor that might have it might be an interventional cardiologist, not a vascular surgeon, that's doing these
Yeah.
additional procedures. How do you spell Johannesburg? Johannesburg.
JoHannesburg.
We have one of our advisors is there, he goes back and forth. Actually, it's Wanda's doctor.
Okay.
Wanda, it's your doctor that gives us some of the contacts. He goes down. Where does he go, Wanda? In
To Nigeria.
Oh, he goes to
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
That's
That's
where
far. That's very far.
he's got
He's
a
a
farm
brave man.
there, but yeah, he goes there a lot, like a whole lot. Like I don't even
That-
know if he's there now.
That's very far away from me. That's
Yeah,
about 10,000 kilometers away from me. We're right at the bottom of Africa.
Should all
Have
have
a
to.
look and yeah, yeah, it's difficult. Hey, I don't like you just believe what the doctors tell you, and I think if I'd had more information in the beginning, I probably wouldn't have had the bypass because my leg is definitely worse now than
Yeah.
it was before the bypass in terms of nerve damage, in terms of everything, It's
Yeah, that's why we tell
constantly
people to hold
hurting.
off. There are a lot of
Yeah.
people that end up posting in our group, and they'll say, and I just saw another couple, oh, my husband is on deck for bypass this week. And it's like,
Yeah.
God, I wish you would have found it sooner. And I mean, I've stopped an amputation overnight just 2 weeks ago. 12:30 in the
Yeah.
morning, a patient's daughter called me, and
Yeah.
said, oh my gosh, my mom's on deck for amputation 8 o'clock. And I said, well, the only person that can stop this is you. So are you willing
Yeah.
to do what it takes? And so
Yeah.
have to have the courage to stop it. And like in their situation, the doctor lied to them, was like, well, I came in on my day off for this. No, he didn't. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have approved him coming in on his day off for a non-emergency, non-life threatening toe amputation.
Yeah.
We confirmed it was not life threatening. It was not an emergency, that
Wow.
it could wait. And so he just was annoyed that he was inconvenienced. It did not
Yeah.
need to be done, it turns out. And we got that confirmed by another university hospital. That was just a community
Yeah.
hospital they were in. So, you know, you can stop these things when you learn more information. The doctor, you're not going to hurt their feelings if you stop it, but stop it sooner rather than later so they can fill the slot with someone else, unfortunately, who may not know better. But there are options available, minimally invasive options that are available in so many places. But also, even more importantly, I think Kevin Thomas Morgan, who is our P.A.D. warrior chief and my host of the Collateral Nation, he'll tell you he has blockages from groin to toe. And yes, it's a full-time job to exercise, but he doesn't have procedures. The only procedures he's had is for his iliac and his aorta, but his legs are blocked from the thigh to the toe. And he's been
Yeah.
able to grow collateral vessels. So
I'd rather
it
hurt
is
somebody's
possible.
ego and keep my leg.
Right? Yeah. I've
Yes.
had
Good point,
moments
Douglas.
where I've wondered if it wouldn't be better just to get rid of the leg. But then when you think
Nope.
about after your mind can't comprehend it, you know? Like it's just I've always been such an
Well,
self-sufficient woman. I can't even imagine not having a leg.
well, and it's a bypass.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I have I have a bypass, and that bypass affects my life today. And I had that almost 4 years ago, and it affects
Yeah,
every area of my life today. Period.
yeah,
There's no ifs,
yeah.
ands, or buts about it. I feel it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Too.
365 days a
Well,
year.
Yep.
I'm on quite a few, well, two medications for to treat my nervous system to calm it down so that I don't feel the pain as much. But I think it's working a little bit, but it's always there, hey. It's always there, like a burning fire. It's awful. It's really awful, you
I
know?
got a 4x4 sitting on my right groin and my right leg 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
all the time.
Terrible. Terrible.
So
Why
Colette
does
had a
that happen,
question
Jen?
too.
Because I have not.
Colette actually said she came back afterwards and said that she hit the button by mistake.
Oh,
It's okay.
She's kicking back there, hanging out, right, Colette? But we should go ahead and end this, Rod. This has been a really fun session. Would love to have everyone back. Actually, we're even going to hang out tonight. We have another group at 4 p.m. Pacific. Too late for the UK and South Africa, but 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 o'clock Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Would love to see, you know, you guys there. If you can come, we just hang out. We just chit chat, kind of like what we're doing. We never know where the conversation is going to go, but it's a fun little hangout as well. And I'm happy to have anyone come and hang out. And Natalie, we'll work on, just message me and let's work on, I can get you into that South Africa group. And I know I think it's hard because if we can't help people, it's a little frustrating. And there isn't always advanced care, but what we can do is inspire people to move, to walk, to care for their feet. Because there is so much that we can do conservatively to prevent, you know, having the amputation, to prevent P.A.D from progressing. You can really stall the progression
Yeah.
with all of these different means. And I think that may be the message that we try and help with. In meantime, together we can start gathering the doctors, you know, across South Africa.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's try that. It was
Okay.
fun, Joy. Information is always invaluable. Thank you.
Definitely. Thanks everyone for joining us. Really appreciate you. Do make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel. We're here every week. Email us at info@padhelp.org to join our live studio audience. We had 17 of us in the group today, hanging out, having a good time, learning and growing together. Thank you to Douglas, my amazing guest co-host. Lots of steps, if you can, for Kevin Thomas Morgan. Make sure, put in comments, how many steps did you take today? We are going to create a certificate and add up all the steps that people are donating steps for Kevin in his recovery. We're wishing him a speedy recovery from open heart surgery. He is a warrior, and I know he's going to be on his feet very, very soon. And he's going to be competing, hopefully, in that half marathon Ironman in May, just as he has planned on doing. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you for your support.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Bye.